and welcome back to another episode of Podcast with Wolfpack with your host Suleiman Mir, your co-hosts. We have not decided who's the main host, who's the other host. Everyone is a host. Everyone is participating. Praveen D'Souza, Triple D, MJ of coming late. So yes, the topic for today, as given by Triple D, is Triple D, right, or Double D? Is it which one is correct?
Both are right.
Triple D.
What do you prefer?
I think
Triple D. Yeah. Okay.
the extra.
The safe for work version.
What does the extra D mean?
No, it is his name.
That's actually my name.
Yeah,
You have
actually-
3 Ds in
Yes.
It's usually the two Ds, but the other D is for the later.
For the later. Okay. So the topic suggested by him is workplace toxicity, our experience with them, and how we dealt with them, or how we should have dealt with them, but didn't.
Workplace toxicity.
Did you ever experience toxicity at your workplace?
Toxicity in the sense, yes, I did. Not my current job, but my previous workplace.
What kind of?
It was a corporate workplace. I would not specifically. I would say which one.
Please do
Like
not,
what
and
I-
please use your previous,
Yeah.
working environment as an example
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
What if the current working place people are working?
Is it?
Yeah, it depends.
We
See,
are
For you, okay, no
stars.
problem.
See,
for the
see,
stars.
every workplace has its own pros and cons. By the way.
Of course.
Okay, so it is always up to you how you take it,
Yes.
in a positive way or in a negative way.
And by
You
the
know,
way,
and then you should always enjoy your work, regardless of whoever or whatever it is. Okay, as long as the work is done, the job is done, your manager is happy with your work, and you are getting paid for it, then why not go for it? That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't have much bad things about my previous job, and not so good things also. Everything was just stable, running very well. I was doing my job. I was completing the projects. The work was done on time, every time. So implemented many projects, and the management were happy with my work. So I stayed there for so many years.
How many specific? Like more than 5?
I wouldn't say how many number of years because I don't want to pinpoint.
Right.
So, yeah, the work was good. I did my part. I should never go behind back and talk about something. I should just do my work, and I should leave my work at my work. Okay, home is home.
Yeah.
Friends are friends. Friends, family, everybody. No talking, no discussing about work. Personal life is personal life. Professional is professional. That's how I do it till now.
Well, thank you for doing it for the podcast.
Yeah. My pleasure, brother. My pleasure. But even though I'll tell the same thing to my wife also, like she's also a management staff.
Right.
So whatever it is, I'll tell her the same thing. You leave your work at your work. Don't bring it at home.
Doesn't sound like it at the moment.
I know it doesn't sound like that. Sometimes you need to take calls. Sometimes it is because she is working in an environment or at a workplace where she has to be on the call.
Around the
That
Yes.
true. That is my current one also, because
So, yeah,
when you're
that's how
head
it
of
is.
your department, it becomes like because it depends on the job also you're working.
Right.
If it's 24 hours, then even if you leave the job, you have someone over there. They will come back to you if you're in charge of that department or of that area. They will come back to you, not the whole time, but time to time overall, just to get your feedback on what to do with certain situations. So I understand that as well.
But
Very well.
what about yourself? Did you experience any toxic?
My previous one was pretty toxic. One of the main reasons I left from there.
What kind of?
Like, was it very
What did
stressful?
Stressful, yes.
What did you
One-
experience? What made it toxic? That's what.
The
See,
management more than
now
anything.
you. I'm sorry to cut you off in the middle, but I want to know if you speak about your previous job, will it harm your current job?
No, I don't believe so.
No, right. So you are confident that you can.
No, I'm very happy with my current role. So I don't have anything specifically bad to say about my
Okay.
current one. The
Right.
previous one, yeah, it's my experience overall that it was not very fulfilling, to say the least, with work-life balance first of all, and then the management was hit or miss. Miss most of the time.
Because by the way, we are friends for many many years, so we know that I know him since he was in university or pre-university also, or like
No university.
university, yeah. So I know he joined work and then he moved on, and now he's at a level where you can understand that thing, but I know his, what do you say, the growth. I saw his growth. So I could relate to him because I also had a similar path. Okay, so I would relate to you, and I would, God bless on your future endeavors and other things. God bless. I'm ready to help you in any ways, form, or anything.
I mean, we all
Yeah.
wish the same for
Yes,
each other,
for
right?
everyone.
All
for
give
everyone.
advice to each other
Yeah.
regarding this.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, that's the thing about your work. I know you used to commit a lot of your free time for work, because as soon as you come home, you might receive calls, you might do this. Always you were late from work. You had very less time for your family and friends, because I could see your workload or your work pressure a lot from far away. Because I could not tell you these things because those things meant to be your personal life. So I was no one to judge on what you were doing, or it is none of my business. So as from far I could see that. Yeah, please.
so all of this is true. To be honest, I enjoyed later on because at the start it was a bit tight, but later on sometimes I would abuse my power. So
In your previous workplace.
at my workplace, yes, I would abuse my power.
So
And that is I can freely admit, but
so it was affecting in a way that the work was creeping into your personal or off work
Yeah.
timings.
yeah, off work timings I would receive calls. So the issue is I don't mind receiving calls if they're like 1 minute to 2 minutes to 3 minutes, but the calls would go for like 20 minutes, and it would be just me saying, "Oh, yes, yes."
So basically they were giving you orders.
Yeah, they just wanted to be heard.
Oh,
So basically,
were they emotional at times?
very,
Very.
Were they abusive?
not
Use
abusive,
of language?
but no,
Like not
very.
abusive,
I would
maybe-
say
maybe
demanding?
authoritative.
authoritative. Yes, of course they are management.
man,
Yeah,
okay.
so of course they
Demanding.
might.
Because see now I'm also under a manager. My manager is not authoritative. He's like very friendly. He's always ready to help. And now we work in project basis. So we have to do projects for many companies. So see, we work as a team.
Right.
We are like 5-6 guys. We work as a team. We do multiple projects. We handle multiple customers. And the thing is, see, nobody knows everything. Okay. No one knows everything.
Right.
So we have to learn, and we have to see. So we have to collaborate together to work on these projects. So they say, okay, so he will help me, I will help him, so other guy will help. We have a manager, we talk to him, he will discuss, we will talk, and then we will try to solve the issue per customer and give the customer the perfect results what they want.
Yeah, they say right.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we work as a team, and we try to solve the issue, and the customer, at the end of the day, the customer is happy and he is fulfilled by our work, our service, and that's what our company is. Our company is giving service to a customer, and they are happy about it. They're good.
Same
And
thing.
their future also, they will encourage other companies also to do projects from this like our company, like because we give that type of service.
Right.
We don't think about like, oh, this is like they are not paying us, we don't have to do this and all like that. No, because as soon as we do give a product, we have to fulfill the customers'
requirements.
Yes, yes. So regardless, now my current work, the collaborative effort, what we do, like the customers has to be satisfied with our work. This is the main job, because that's how we get paid.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. In my previous job also and the current one, the people under me, I would tell them, I do not care how the work is done. Just get it done. Please.
I have something to
I have
add.
set them, yeah, 1 second. Just
Yeah.
one second. I've set them a deadline. I don't want them to push over their ability. I just want the work done. I give them free rein. Not too much, not too little.
You give them some leeway.
Yeah, leeway, for example. Yes, exactly. And then, as long as the work is done, I will not. I will back them up in whatever the management throws at them or the customer.
Yeah.
I'll back them up as long as the work is done in the time I give them. The rest I can handle, no problem. Just to finish my this one, I'm proud and happy of my previous job. It was toxic to in the middle towards the end, but that grows your character a bit. It teaches you things, so you cannot be like I go back and I don't want to face that. It builds you up. These experiences, good and bad. Bad sometimes more than good. So you gotta take the punches and stand up at the end. So my experience was it wasn't good, but it made me who I am at the moment. So
So this is the thing, like this experience, they make you what you are today.
Yeah.
Like
makes you better.
makes you
moving
better. Like
forward.
you will come to know what you shouldn't do and what you should do.
Hmm.
It will guide you in a proper way, and then if you reach at a certain level in the future, you will know how to treat someone.
Yeah.
Like so that they will give 100% of their ability to help you, to see. Always you have to work as a team.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But the thing is, not every member of your team will be same.
yes,
That is my current thing also. Previous company also it was my thing. Like not everyone is the same. So you have to not treat everyone different, but treat them accordingly. According to you have to know what
basically you
makes
have
them
to
work.
manage. You
Yes.
have to manage the work as well as the person.
Yes.
So
Like some
that
people
comes
will
to
do-
the people skills basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
To whom
So some people will do more than if you tell them they'll do more than that. Some people will not, but you cannot hold that against them. Like why you are not doing the same as that. You have to avoid that.
Right.
Yeah,
You have
because
to
you gotta
avoid
make sure that everybody's on the same page.
some people maybe are very good at it.
Some people
Some
basically
people
are
are
suck-ups.
very good at something else.
Yeah.
So, but if you combine them together, the end product is is what the customer wants. Collaborative effort always works.
No, I just wanted to add on that basically. Like you guys said that when it comes to service, the clients, would you prefer a client that gives you like set step of instructions, or would you respect a client which is like 80% of the things is this what we want, 20% is where you add your creativity. They give you a degree of freedom.
It always depends. It always depends.
No, this is two conditions. Depending on like one is like 100%. Would you be satisfied if the client literally tells you to do I want it exact like this, or a client which is flexible
Flexible.
to the designer's
For being flexible.
freedom of
See, there is yes, you're right. I mean to say what you are trying
because
to-
some clients would be
yes.
like, I think the person who is doing the job for me would have been doing this for multiple other people, so his expertise also could be added, or would you be like satisfied with the
See,
client who actually
I'll share you some.
needs,
some
who knows what he wants?
I'll share you some examples. Like,
But by the way, this is a little bit off topic. You with the workplace toxicity, we are going with that.
Yeah, this could be.
I just
It
want
could
to-
be linked to
I
it.
just want
Basically,
to complete his the question. I want to finish it off. See, examples like I would give you when you do a service to a customer, like when you do a project to a customer, you give them the scope of work. you provide them what you're gonna do. And the customer, when they give us when they give us the requirements what they want, you have to always be honest with the customer, and you have to tell them, and you have to ask them their requirements every day. Okay, like you do a project every day, you have to tell them what you did, and you have to take their feedback what they want. Okay, it may not be in the scope of work, but you have to always fulfill your job first, and also the customer satisfaction is more important, because the customer has to come back to us. Okay, because of our service, because of our work, what we do, and it may not be the whole thing, but if you do a little bit extra, so the customer will be happy.
No, why I add this is
Yeah.
because see where the scenario, like I said, if the client is giving you a little bit of degree of freedom, you could also extend your time of you delivering it, and this could lead into a smooth transition in your workplace. Like for example, if the client wants it in this set of span of time, and you are not clearly it's not enough time. This could also lead to toxicity in your office environment,
Yeah,
where the
you need
management
to
puts
make
the
the
pressure
management.
that you haven't delivered it to the client in the said amount of time, or they would be, like you say, they would be behind your back by saying that, is it done yet, or is it, give me the walkthrough of what you have done and all that. But if it's a client who's understanding, who understands that the person needs this so and so time, then the management will not have any reason for you to, put the pressure by saying that, you're behind the schedule. So this directly leads to,
See,
I think a better set of clients would make it
See, you
smoother.
have to always be honest with the client.
I
You
I
cannot,
don't
yeah.
think that
No,
works in
honesty
today's.
in a way that you're handling this, like the product or the project or whatever it is.
That's debatable, I would say, when
Yeah,
it comes to
because
honesty.
see, if the customer is not happy, he's not happy, brother.
Customer can be happy by you not disclosing every aspect of it.
But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like if your management is pressuring you, I would not necessarily consider that as toxic or toxicity or
Because
something that's
because
toxic,
it is not
because
it
it's
is
their
not
job to make
toxic.
it. Yeah.
It's not toxic.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, the management has given you some things to do. You have to do them regardless.
No, I don't.
And there's
I
a
think
deadline.
it is taking the
That
pressure
is
sense
your
like in
job.
another way. It could be when the when
I personally would not consider that toxic. They're just trying to make sure that you meet it. You
You
complete
meet-
your objective.
it could be
Yeah.
a reminder. What I mean is like
No, it
reminders.
doesn't matter, brother. Because see, at the end of the day, you have to do what you are told to do.
Yeah, that's your job.
That's what
I'm not
they
saying
pay
you will
you
not
for.
be doing. I'm just saying that
Yes.
the
One,
span
I
of
think
time.
he means is
Yeah, it's not
making
about
you crunch.
exactly.
Crunch. Making
It's
you
not
work
about you not
at the
delivering what the
office,
client
making you
needs.
work
At the end of the day,
home as well.
you would be doing that, but there is also an unhealthy way of putting the pressure.
Setting unrealistic deadlines, timelines for the customer, promising the customer something that is not feasible.
Exactly.
In that
like,
sense, he
like
means.
the management could put this option to you. You accept this from them and from another client.
Right.
This
For
is
example.
actually because you know why I point this up, because this actually has happened to me. Setting unnecessary and unfeasible deadlines, promising customers something that is not feasible.
That's not possible.
Yeah. So my experience was I used to tell the management, because usually even though we are relaying with the customer directly, the management is more involved with them. So we need to go with the management towards the customer as well.
So
More
there's
towards
a
the management.
transparency between everybody.
Yeah. So we need to discuss with the management what is possible, what is not possible.
So how
There
did
was
you-
this one project. As an example,
Go ahead.
I told them not to take the project,
Why?
even if it was making good money. I told them not to take the project
Why was that? Why did you do
because of the materials involved in the project.
Okay.
Because they needed to be shipped, and the deadline that was set by the customer, not by the management, by the customer, because they need to open, right, was very tight.
Unrealistic. Okay.
Yeah, and then you need to go through checks with the customer, like, because they are a big
Customs also
company.
is involved.
Huh?
Customs were involved with the shipment.
Yeah, so there is like the main contractor, customers, the subcontractors to the main contractors. All of these are involved. You have to go through all of them. Then you have to provide them with a shipping update. Shipping takes, for that material, it comes from China, so it takes around 2 months by sea. If you do air, it's more expensive. So the client, they don't approve of that. I told them, don't take this because it involves some delicate material as well, like living plants. We have to ship from the other side of the world, Netherlands. I asked them, don't take this. Even if it is, this will get you stuck. Because the company that is, handling this, the main company, it is very tricky to work with. But they did not listen. And we got stuck in that.
That led to some toxic.
Yes. Because when they feel the pressure, they apply more pressure to you. But how can you control something
That's out of your
You
control.
know,
yeah,
your
exactly.
hands,
Out of your
like,
control, out of your hands.
You're just waiting for materials.
Yeah, exactly. So unnecessary abuse and unnecessary, shoutings.
Yeah.
It's
So how did you deal with, in general, how did you deal with the toxic nature at your
Yeah.
workplace? What
you mean in this particular instance?
No,
For
just
example,
generally.
For example, like when you request for some product from overseas, and
No, he means like in general how I dealt
yes,
with
yes,
this.
yeah.
I basically had to at the start because it was the first job, and you have to impress the management. You do all the things they say,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but after a while, I just got fed up, and in return, I had to train the management about boundaries, about privacy.
So you said boundaries.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, I don't know. I wouldn't tell anyone to take this advice. They used to call me around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the evening sometimes. Okay, so I stopped picking up the phone.
Okay.
One of the things I just stopped.
And that's how you said it.
Yeah, set boundaries. Like if they call me at 5, okay. After that, I will not pick up any call because my duty used to end at 4. So I'll give them 1 hour
Above
driving. Yeah, above. After that, I will not pick up any call. And they used to complain about that as well. The next day,
Yeah.
like you didn't pick up this call. I didn't used to say anything. I'm like, just listen from one ear and just. That was one of the things as well. Just listen from one ear and just take it out on the other. You don't need to keep these things in your mind.
Yeah.
They're just rambling. At
But I
a
think
certain
you
point,
set
it's just
the-
rambling.
But I think you set the boundaries so that you are able to give your 100% the next day again. Right?
Yeah.
So it is directly affect. It's a choice that you make
Yes.
for you and the company. You
Yeah.
wouldn't want to be entertaining the calls after the set amount of hours, so that you could give your 100% again the next day. As like when you come to the office, you do know that now it's the work mode, and then after the work timing gets over, now it's the play mode. I mean, play as in like your
Privacy mode.
Privacy mode. Like work
Personal
really.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if, by setting that up, it is also a choice made in favor for the company. If you decide not to pick up your call, the calls that you get after the work timings, it is also a decision in favor of the company. I think.
So one of the things was, as I said before, that it was not like small, like calls. They were like longer calls. So
Yeah.
currently, if I get calls, I pick them up because I know it will be like 1 minute. I'll give them a solution to the problem, and then it will be like okay, and they'll do the work over there. So it's not much of an issue. But the funny thing was that whoever joined the company after I had this revelation, I used to tell them to do this. Don't pick up the call after 5. That is as simple as you can do. And everyone used to do that afterwards. And they used to blame me for that as well.
They can do that now because now you're not working for them anymore.
Yeah.
And what about yourself? Toxic.
I had my fair share of toxicity.
Yeah, very.
But majorly it came out from, I would say, when I was.
It's the first job syndrome mostly, man.
Yeah, so my experience, I would tell you, I remember it vividly because my first job I landed through placement. I did my engineering in India. So soon after the results, actually before the results, I had already enrolled, and it was something that you would face as a newbie. So the environment which I was working in, there was always a constant reminder that not just to me, it's the general thing. So I've noticed also So you don't have a feeling that you need to like complain as soon as you get in, because there's this general notion that you are replaceable, but nobody like says it out. But
They make you feel that way.
they make you feel that way.
Okay.
So it's like a rat race basically. So you just have to observe your environment and go accordingly with what they do. Because that is not an environment where you could be like think out of the box, or I'll do something that will change the system, because it's literally what been following. I mean, people around you literally follow that. So I've faced situations where normally anyone who's new to the industry would like stay back after a certain amount of time. Sure, absolutely, it is on the notion of getting the job done, but
At what cost?
the cost of being burned out.
Right, exactly.
That's a big no. That's a big I would say an issue. Like just because the work is not done, if you push yourself out, you shouldn't hit the dead. The spot where you couldn't like turn back. You wouldn't want to feel burned down also, because that's when, if you feel like when you hit the saturation point, that's when you will feel like you will not be able to contribute anything.
Yeah.
So this went on for a year, but I also didn't like let it go because it was the first job, and I did have a fair share of clashes of opinion, but nothing to a personal level. But I would say they were hindrance into a few of aspects in my first job. So that was, I got a fair share of it.
Yeah, good thing is the current one is better. That's
Way better, because like you mentioned, like Murari mentioned, when you go through these in the earlier stage,
Shapes you.
do
You do
understand.
learn a lot.
You do learn a lot. So it's always better if it happens the earlier,
Yeah, in the early years.
the earlier stages, because you would be, it would help you a lot to work in an environment which you don't predict,
Yeah.
like it's going to be smooth enough.
Helps
So
you
you
deal
can
with the-
differentiate. Exactly. It's like knowing the bad, so that you can segregate the good
Yeah.
away from the bad. So you know, like this is
like
what,
different situations, how
Exactly.
you want to handle them.
exactly. So I would say, yeah, I had some fair share of my
So how did you?
clashes.
So how did you deal with, you know?
I just played the game which they wanted to play with me, and I did for
You
a
went
year.
Basically sucked it up and absorbed all the things.
Yes, because
he
it's-
went with the flow. Like.
I went.
I was a witness to that as well.
He went with the flow. That's
First time.
how you deal with it, because see, there are not not all companies are like roses, violets, and rainbows and
Most,
flowers.
I would
Yeah.
say.
So you have to always keep your head down and do your job, man.
I mean, I disagree
And then,
because
thing you see, at the end of the day, they will
Yeah.
see what you want to work. So not, I mean to say, like at the end of the day, they'll see how you work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and then
Are you getting
are
the
you
feedback?
are you reaching the targets? Are you finishing the work, or are you finishing the task on time? This is what they know. So this is what they see.
Yeah.
Okay. Just do your thing and then live your life.
I mean,
This is how I do. Like I
Right.
just finish my task. I just finish my work. I just do whatever the task is given to me. The projects are given to me. I do them. I see. I do whatever task done given to me, and then finish and I leave. That's it.
Speaking of finishing, let's finish off with Derek.
Yeah.
uh, yeah. So
Yeah. I want to know what you disagree about Melvin.
well, not about Melvin, but it's
Sorry, MJ.
No, in general, I think.
In
You mean-
In general, bro. I mean, why are you like putting spot where-
I'm just putting him on the spot.
on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, firstly,
In general, basically.
I'll just briefly touch upon the toxic aspects of my workplace, or ones that I experienced at least. Narcissism, of course. Some of the seniors tend to be
They think they know better than everyone else.
Yeah, it comes out in weird, toxic ways, and sometimes, of course, backbiting, putting dirt on the other person. Two faces, putting one face for the management and one face for the other team members. When you see this firsthand, it really affects you. Of course, in a way, it's an experience that shapes you. But you said it actually is good for you if it happens. You mentioned this. It's good if it happens to you earlier, but I would say it's even better if you don't experience this at all.
But that's the thing. There is no way you will not experience it.
Of course, realistically speaking, it would be naive of anyone.
Unless you're a one-man company.
Yeah, so it would be naive of anyone to go into a company expecting 100% smooth, stable, no barriers, no, what do you call it, humps or whatever.
No obstacles.
No obstacles. Yeah, you will experience this. But of course, it should be the kind of obstacles that is healthy for your growth and development, not that is toxic in nature. That in a way that it affects you as a person, your personality, your intention or your drive to speak up when necessary. If you are hushed forcefully, then that's a problem. I always say there are three things which you need to, or a few things that you need to gain. As long as you're in a company, these three things need to be satisfied. Your knowledge, as long as you're learning, that's a good thing. Your experience, and your work-life balance. If any of these three things are not satisfied at any time, it's time that you look for another company that's able to fulfill these three things for you. But those things, so narcissism, of course, foul language. I mean, of course, that is debatable whether it can be toxic. Of course, it can get toxic at times, especially if it's directed at to you as a person. But how did I deal with those? Of course, initially when I joined, I had to put up with it. Because I did not join the company to complain about others. That's not why I joined. I enrolled or I was selected or hired by the company to, well, first of all, gain experience, contribute to the company, and learn. But of course, few things that I would change if I had a second chance is setting boundaries. I would say that, look, this is not how I do things. You need to be respectful in your interaction. If you're going to cross this line, then I think it's best if we're going to have a problem. So setting boundaries, like you said, is very, very important, especially at the start. If you don't, then you are going to have a difficult.
You get ruled.
It's easy to say no the first time.
Exactly. Yeah. So not necessarily saying no, but
it's not about you're right. It's not about saying no.
It's just
it's just about
be respectful.
Be respectful.
My thing is that even if you don't play the game, they will play the game. You cannot stop that from happening.
Of course. It's not about stopping, but it's about doing the right thing. Of course, it's sometimes you won't be able to avoid that, as if you're staying in that company. But yeah, that's one advice I would give: boundaries. Secondly, understand that your role, your place in that company. If you're a newbie, then you have to play the role of a newbie for some time at least. Don't let the negative, interactions with them affect you. Just do your job as to the best of your ability, and
try to avoid it. Avoid these things as much as possible.
Try and avoid this negativity from your workplace.
Exactly. Try to be on everybody's good side.
Try to be,
that is very difficult.
Very difficult.
Try to, I would just say, my experience, just do the task what you are given.
Yeah.
So best of your abilities, do whatever the task is given to you. That's it. Everyone will be happy.
Yeah. One thing I would just because it's fun. Well, not fun, but I wouldn't wish this to happen to anyone. But it just so happened that two colleagues of mine disagreed with each other, and it ended up. What happened was one person ended up striking the other person on the face. And of course, that person got terminated.
Okay.
But of course, that
Was it like a sucker punch?
no, it was just
Like
a slap.
A slap, maybe.
So the guys, do you think the guys saw it coming, or was he like?
No, it was.
Saw it coming in the sense.
No, there's no way.
Like, did she like?
Ninja, like.
No. There was a mark on his cheek.
Like, was it like visible?
Yeah. There was a scar on his face, like.
So he was wearing a ring or something, broke a.
I think it was a nail.
Was he bleeding?
It could happen like if you have long nails.
Like a slap tournament
Power slam.
Did you hear the echo?
No, I wasn't there when it happened, but
Did
A
you
lot.
feel the breeze?
The environment. Did you like walk into the office and know that something bad happened?
This actually happened at site in front of a lot of people.
Workers.
How was the aura,
Workers, yeah.
the ambience?
Yes.
He wasn't there.
I wasn't there. That's the issue. But
Let's make it clear. He was not there.
yeah,
Please.
Yeah.
but yeah,
He
whoever
couldn't
saw
feel
it was completely
Was
surprised.
the office that day very?
He was not there.
No, I was there at the office, but the incident happened outside the office. But it happened.
It happened outside, but it was during the work hours.
Yeah, it happened in the project site. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, the side, customer side, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So the point is, this thing
At the
happened, and
Okay, so let's see.
the company did the right thing, which is they terminated the guy. The same thing.
But
So
see, the company did
the bare minimum, I think.
no, I mean not like bare minimum. Like the company did, because see, if a guy is hitting somebody,
Yeah.
the other guy should have aggravated him.
Not
Could be,
not
but
from the details I was.
you don't escalate to physical violence. Right?
Yeah.
I
So,
know, that is. I see this. I would. No, I'm not saying that.
Like
Like,
for me,
you don't condone the
people
violence.
piss me off as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Especially some in this four people. One of them pissed me off a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't strike them.
Does he have a neck?
doesn't it? I think he left his jawline at the barber shop.
No. So,
Again,
So basically, it's from the details I heard. It was not like it was not like foul language. It was like like
exchanged.
exchanged exactly. It was just like, no, this is your job. No, that's your job. And then one person just went the extra mile or
Okay, so-
went over the the limit.
So basically, they didn't want to work.
So yeah, or rather, they didn't want to take responsibility for
Maybe.
the work.
Because they might know that okay, this might cause an issue or something. That's why they don't want to take the responsibility of like, okay, you did this because of you doing it. It's
Yeah, so toxic can happen in toxicity can happen in many ways, but it's important how you deal with it.
True.
So yeah, that's
So
all I have to say.
Like
on this
we
topic.
can end it by saying like like I would want to quote Bruce Lee. Be like water. Take the shape of the vessel that it can be.
be like what?
Water. Water.
Okay, so you sounded like a Jamaican.
No, I mean I said water. I was not trying to be racist.
Thank you, and please tune in for the next episode whenever that is.